Everybody under the sound of my voice, lift up your hands if he's been good to you. Come on. When I thought about it, had to think about it, and then I thought about it. Yeah, I thought about it. Yeah, for real. Stop and think about it. Even when I didn't deserve it, he was right there. Standing ain't dropping, we keep.
Shalom alaikum wa shabbat shalom likoli hadbiya kahalidat. Today we are looking again at spiritual warfare. But as we look at spiritual warfare, we're oftentimes able to identify what our problems are, but we're not able to tap into the solutions. So when we talk about dealing with solutions, okay, we have to deal with the word of the Most High, because the ideas and the information and the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we need have been recorded there, okay? And they're waiting for us to excavate them like jewels in a mine to be used and materialized in our lives. So as we are dealing with the reality of end times phenomenon in our social reality, we have to focus on mental health, okay? We have to focus on the lies, the deceptions, the illusions, the delusions, the false ethos, and the social phenomenon that surround the end times. These are phenomenons that we're dealing with. What do we understand about phenomenon? Phenomenon is what's happening. It's not necessarily according to truth, but it is the reality that's happening. And we know that Yahweh has already stated in his word, he won't change the condition of a people until they first change what's in their what? In their own souls, in their own desire, in their own belief, all of these things that encompass ourself. So what is he helping us to do when we go back to the word? He is helping us to discover our inner world and the outer world of phenomenon that we are dealing with. So we're talking about the condition of sin that we constantly have to overcome and the process of salvation. We can see the inference in the word salvation. T-I-O-N, suffix, gives us the understanding that salvation is a continual, ongoing process that we must engage in through worship. Okay? Taking in the divine, taking in the seed of the word, and then manifesting that, maintaining that, and bringing forth spiritual productivity and manifestation. So let's look at the impact and the capacity of Yahweh Allah's divine mercy and love in dealing with the continual condition of sin and where we will find the redemption from it. Now, first and foremost, we have to understand that his eternal mercy and love is not so that we continue to sin more, but it is so that we are able to have the mercy and the grace to overcome our flesh in time through the process of salvation. This mercy, this love enables us to transform our will because we're coming in from the world. We're coming out of the world. We're coming out of bad habits. We're coming out of things that we're used to, people, places, and things and understandings, coming out of trauma. We're coming out of being affected and influenced. So it's going to take time now to reshape and remold our will and our desire and how we see ourselves and how we react with others and how we interact with our own emotions and how we understand ourselves, how we understand the Most High. All of this is going to be achieved through his mercy. With that being said, let's look at a couple of scriptures that bring this divine attribute of mercy and love into focus. So when we look in the Tehillim, the book of Psalms 136 and verse 1, we find Hudu li hawakito, kile olam hasdo. The word that we want to focus on here, first of all, is hudu. This is from the root word yada, which literally means to give thanks, to praise, to acknowledge and confess, glorify. Okay? So we're confirming that Jehovah is good. Okay? Now listen, it says that his mercy endureth forever. The word we find there for mercy, or you can also translate it as loving kindness, is chesed. It literally means loving kindness, mercy, steadfastness, loyalty, okay, piety, beauty, okay? And the power in this word is it expresses the fact that his loyalty to us is eternal. And as long as we keep our will towards him in worship, he will never take that loyalty away in spite of our condition, in spite of our trouble, in spite of our persecution, in spite of the fitna, in spite of the struggle that you have, that you're trying to deal with, that you do well and then you fall off, and then you do well and then you fall off. That thing that you have to deal with, we all have that thing that we have to deal with, whatever it is. But he's explaining to us that his loyalty does not stop when our problems begin. His loving kindness does not stop because you messed up and because you fell down. No, to the contrary, this is where we learn the character of the Most High. This is where we learn about the reality of his love. Because we understand that the word chesed literally means kindness towards men in doing favors and granting benefits. How many people need some favors in their life right now? Favor is even greater than money because it'll take you way further. It'll accomplish what you do not have the money to accomplish. Favor is greater. The word chesed especially extends to the lowly and the needy and the miserable. And this is the condition that we find ourselves in at present because of the afflictions of the devil that were promised to be present at the end of time. But now he has given us the remedy. He's given us the solution. He's helped us to understand our inner world by tapping into the divinity in his character. He will make us and mold us while we go through. Because it's this loving kindness that allows us the time that we need to understand why it is that he's telling us not to do the things that we thought we once loved when we were in the world without knowledge. But now that we've come to him, and now we've set our foot on a higher plane, and we've stepped into new realities, and the old things that we used to do can't accompany us now because we're coming closer to him. Literally, this is the character, the divine character of the Most High that preserves our life from death and quickens our spiritual life, grants us redemption from our enemies, and delivers us out of trouble. So today we have to understand the power and the divinity in Yahweh's loving kindness and his mercy, not to be taken for granted, but to be used to propel you into your purpose by design, to be the catalyst to move you into your destiny. Because your talent will take you where your character won't allow you to stay. But worship is where the character undergoes the process of transformation. And it is his loving kindness and his loyalty to that will enable us to be able to thrive. So we must remember this while we are combating sin and while we are engaging in the process of salvation. Once again, it is a process, not overnight, but through hard work and discipline, we transform and become our purpose and our destiny. So we'll stop here and I'll leave you with a hadith. Hopefully this will encourage somebody to keep the faith and not to give up. Understand that the waxing and waning is all part of the struggle. But we find in Mishkat al-Masabi 23:44, Ina ashaytana kala aizaitaka ya rabba la abrahu ukwe badaka madamat arwahukum fi ajsadihim فقال الرب عز وجل وعزتي وجلالي وارتفاع مكاني لا أزال أكفر لهم ما أستغفروني. Abu Sa'id reported that Allah's messenger said that the devil said, by thy might, my Lord, I shall continue to lead thy servants astray as long as their spirits are in their bodies. Literally, as long as blood is in their bodies. And the Lord, who is great and glorious, replied, and by my might and my glory and my exalted station, I shall continue to pardon them as long as they seek my forgiveness. Everybody under the sound of my voice, lift up your hands if he's been good to you. Come on!
When I thought about it,
Had to think about it, and then I thought about it. Yeah, I thought about it.